What's going on, you guys? It's your boy King Standards here, and we are back with another rebuild as of today. Taking a little hiatus, but you know what? We're back. Roll the freaking intro, baby. So, yes, as I mentioned, I did take a little hiatus. I gotta be honest, I just had a really busy week. Just got back from a wedding yesterday. I went out for lunch today, watched some football, and I am in a great mood, man. I'm ready to grind out these rebuilds once again. I'm really excited to hop back into it. I've only pretty much done 2 of them. I did the Bulls because they were my favorite team. I did the Thunder because they have the most draft picks. But today, that's all going to change. I'm ready, I'm ready for another young team. I'm ready to rebuild another team. I'm ready to hop back into these videos, man. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and hop straight into it. Today, we're going to be rebuilding the Detroit Pistons, one of the teams that I think has one of the best young futures out of any team in the NBA. I think that the Thunder, the Pistons, and the Rockets have put themselves in great positions to be contenders in the next, 4 to 5 years, maybe even sooner than that if they make the right moves. So let's hop into it. So first things first, you guys know how I roll around here. We have to go ahead and make sure that we get all of our bad contracts off. So if you take a look at here, truthfully, this team doesn't really have a whole lot of bad contracts. The biggest contract is Jeremy Grant, who is kind of their superstar as of right now. Obviously, they just drafted Cade Cunningham, so he doesn't need to go anywhere. The only potential thing that I could see us letting go of is maybe Josh Jackson here, because he is, as of next year, going to be a free agent. So I could see him kind of taking a backseat, kind of getting out of here. Maybe Kelly Olynyk, because I don't really think we'll need Kelly Olynyk. But since they did trade away Sekou Doumbouya, it does make it kind of interesting, makes it kind of a difficult situation, because he probably could have been their starting power forward for the years to come. So in an interesting spot, but I think we can still make it work. So let's go ahead and take a look at the game plan here. Take a look at the rotation. We are not starting Rodney McGruder, I can tell you that full-heartedly. We are going to be starting our guy, Killian Hayes. We're going to swap those minutes. We're going to move those roles around. Cade Cunningham is going to be our shooting guard. Killian Hayes is going to be our starting point guard for now. That could potentially change. I don't think it will, but it definitely could. We have Saddiq Bey. We have Jeremy Grant and Isaiah Stewart. We have Kelly O coming off the bench. We have Diallo, Josh Jackson, Saban Lee. And then I'm not going to play Corey Joseph. I could definitely understand where you guys are coming from if you guys thought that I should play Corey Joseph, but it's not going to happen in today's video. So if you guys were looking for a Corey Joseph rebuild, you're going to have to find that somewhere else, because that's not for me. So with that being said, I do think I'm going to take a look at the trades for Kelly Olynyk just to see what we can get. Just because he is still a 78 overall, we still have some pretty decent picks here. So I'm going to go ahead and put in a 2026 first. If you guys know me, my rebuilds are only three seasons long, so it'll be this season, the next season, and the season after. So odds are Kelly O isn't going to be in that rotation for a while anyway. So let's see what we can get here. I'm not seeing anything too crazy. Miles Bridges might be a really good piece for us off the bench. I do kind of like that. Buddy Hield does provide some scoring for us, but I don't really think that's the direction I want to go. I kind of want to replace that backup power forward or that backup center position. Malik Beasley is interesting. I like him a lot. That could add a lot of scoring off of our bench for sure. But let me just double check some more on the end here. I accidentally exited out of it, so I'm just an idiot. You know how it is. So don't you worry about me. But let's see what else we got. So we got Montrezl Harrell and Davis Bertans. That is an interesting trade, but the thing is Trez is on the last year of his deal. Not going to be super viable for us. Bertans could be a good shooter off of our bench, but I don't really know. We do have Robert Covington here, who would be okay. But I think that the one I'm going to go with, if you guys couldn't tell from before, I think I'm going to go with Miles Bridges here. He does only have 1 year left on his contract, which is kind of unfortunate, but I think that we should be able to re-sign him or find someone better in the offseason. So I think he can definitely help us out for this year. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to make sure that Nick Richards is on the last year of his deal as well, just because if not, I definitely want to get that contract off. So it looks like he does technically have 2 years, but we can decline his player option, so it doesn't really matter. So this is the way that the rotation is going to go. We do have Rodney McGruder's not starting. I hate when it does that. So we do have Killian Hayes here. Killian Hayes is going to be our starting point guard for sure. We have Cade Cunningham, Saddiq Bey, Jeremy Grant, Isaiah Stewart, Bridges, Diallo, Jackson, Saban Lee, and that's probably all we're going to do. I do want to make sure that our that our play physical defense is on. You guys should know that that's an absolute glitch in this game. It just makes your team play so much better overall. So with that being said, I am going to sim to the end of the year. I will see you guys there. So we are here at the end of year one, and like I said, we weren't really very good. We ended up as 12th in the conference, 25th in the power ranks. But this team's going to take some time. This team's definitely going to need some time to develop. I'm just saying that overall, it looks like they're in a very, very good spot. That's seriously all I'm trying to say. So, Giannis does go ahead and win MVP. No real shocker there. Maybe Luka, but other than that, like, nothing really. Rookie of the Year, Evan Mobley. Andre Drummond, Sixth Man of the Year. Giannis, Defensive Player of the Year. And Most Improved goes to Bam Adebayo. Most of the time, it does go to Wendell Carter Jr. It's really nice to switch it up sometimes. Steve Nash wins Coach of the Year. No real shocker there. And Tyler Jamison is Exec of the Year. So let's see if we have anybody on any teams. Like I said, if you guys watch my videos, I don't think I've ever really gotten anyone on any All-NBA teams. If so, it's like one player, and it's like once per video. Like, it just doesn't happen. I do think we may have someone on All-Rookie First Team, our guy right there, Cade Cunningham. Unfortunately, didn't win Rookie of the Year, but Evan Mobley did go ahead and take that. So, that's fine. That's very fine. But other than that, that's going to be our only guy. Clearly, we didn't make playoffs, but let's go ahead and take a look at stats just so we can kind of see how well we did. So, Jeremy Grant actually averaged 20 on, let's see, I want to take a look at the efficiency. 45% from the field, 33% from three. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Cade Cunningham averaged 16, 5, and 4 with about 45, 34, and 85 shooting splits. Not too bad at all. Josh Jackson, the guy I was looking to trade, actually played really well. He averaged about 12 points a night. You can't argue with that. Sadiq Bey with about 11.5. Diallo with about 10.5 or 11, 5 rebounds. Miles Bridges coming off our bench with about 11 and 6. So I do think he's a very, very viable like backup, like a six-man, basically is what I'm trying to say. Isaiah Stewart, I do think that he's going to be a stud. Truthfully, he is only 6'8", but at the same time, like, he gets a lot of points, he gets a lot of rebounds, especially in 2K. So I do plan on keeping him around, in all honesty. Killian Hayes with about 10 points a night, 6 assists, on about, his efficiency's kind of eh. But at the same time, I still think they're in a good spot. I truly do. As I've preached many times. You guys don't want to hear that shit no more. So, we'll go ahead and simulate the playoffs here. Let's see what we got. So, it looks like the Bucks versus the Clippers in the finals, and the Bucks do go ahead and take it all. Giannis wins finals MVP and regular season MVP once again. So, just what a stud, man. We'll go ahead and hop into the league meetings here. Make sure that everything is rejected. That is a big deal. Want to make sure that everything's rejected. We'll go ahead and go to the lottery. I don't think we have a... Oh my God. Okay, looks like we have the number 1 overall pick. I don't know how it happened. I have no clue how that happened. But I will take that any day of the week. Let's go. So, wow. I was not expecting that at all. But I am very, very excited for that. That makes me really happy. Let's go. So, I don't really care about the staff signing as of right now. I think that the assistant GM doesn't matter too much. So we're going to the draft, and we are getting an absolute stud. We're getting an absolute stud. So, like I said, we do have the number 1 overall pick. So, here's the thing, is there are a lot of really good players in this draft. But, see, the thing is, I don't really know what to do, because I think Chet Holmgren is probably one of the best players in the draft. I do. But the thing is if we plan on keeping Jeremy Grant, do we really need a power forward? Unless we move Jeremy Grant to the small forward, he can play that small forward position. We also have Paolo Banchero, who's a stud. Jeez. But then again, we do have Jaden Hardy here. We could move Cade Cunningham to that point guard position, move Jaden Hardy to that starting 2, and then we would still be able to keep Sadiq Bey there, keep Jeremy Grant, keep Isaiah Stewart, have Killian Hayes off the bench. That might be really solid. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go ahead and try to get Jaden Hardy. I don't think I typically draft him very often, so it's kind of a nice little switch. So we'll go to the rookie signings. We want to make sure to get him, of course. Sadiq Bey, I would like to bring him back. I'm fine with letting Frank Jackson walk. I'm fine with letting Trey Lyles walk. And even Nick Richards, he can go. I would like to bring back Diallo, but I just don't know how big of a role he's going to have on this team. I do want to bring back the qualifying on Miles Bridges as well. We'll go ahead and check over on bird rights. He's not interested in negotiating with us. That's an issue. That is a big issue. But let's see how much money we have. Let's see, just overall, let's see how much money we have. So if we take off the bird rights, do we have enough for we have enough for a guy like James Harden. Okay, let's take a look at the roster real quick before we make any decisions. For point guard wise, we have Cade Cunningham, Saban Lee, Joseph, and Killian Hayes. I think I'm going to. I don't want to keep Corey Joseph. He's not really in the rotation at all. I do like Cade Cunningham a lot. I think that he deserves a spot on this roster. Saban Lee can be a scorer for us, but he might have to get some of those backup shooting guard minutes. We have Jaden Hardy, the guy that we just drafted, 79 overall. Definitely a very good spot. We have Sadiq Bey and Diallo, both very viable options here. We have Jeremy Grant as our power forward, kind of like our superstar. So we truly need another power forward or a center. If I could get a center and have Isaiah Stewart as the backup center, that would be fantastic. Let's see. So what all do we have here? We don't really have a whole lot. We don't. When it comes to power forward or center. Let's see. And especially the unrestricted ones, there's almost no one. That's not good. That's really not good. What about like a small forward type of player? We could look to get a guy like Zach LaVine or Bradley Beal. Zach LaVine's going to be a little bit cheaper. So let's offer him like 31 and a quarter and see if he signs. And he does. Cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. I would like to... Okay, so I will renounce the rights on all these guys. I would like to keep Miles Bridges if he wants to come back. I know he doesn't, but if he wants to come back, go for it. Now, right now, we don't have very much money. We've only got about 11 mil. I think... Let's see if we could bring in a guy like Mitchell Robinson. Okay, so he declines. Cool. That's fine. What about a guy like... Because we have about 11 mil. So, if we could cut someone just a little bit, I'd be fine with it. I don't really see any guys that are super viable. Like at all, really. Trez would be fine, but that's not really what I'm looking for. Maybe we just keep who we have for now. Let's go ahead and try it. We'll go here to player progression. We'll double check and see. Oh, Miles Bridges does accept the qualifying offer. How about that? So we have Zach LaVine. He got a lot better. Well, not a lot better. Scratch that. I was looking at Cade Cunningham. I'm just an idiot at the end of the day. Zach LaVine got better. Cade Cunningham went up 6 overalls to an 86 overall. We'd love to see that. Jeremy Grant is at an 83. Sadiq Bey jumped up 3 to an 81. Isaiah Stewart jumped up to an 81. Miles Bridges jumped up to an 81. Jaden Hardy's at a 79 still because we just drafted him. Killian Hayes coming off our bench up to a 76. Saban Lee up to a 76, who I don't know if he will crack the rotation or not. But we could look for a potential trade with him, because we do need to try to start winning very, very soon. And we do kind of need that backup center position. So we can definitely look for a trade here. We have the pieces. We have the assets. So let's go ahead and go to the 2023 draft. That's the draft class we're loading in. And let's see what we got, man. So for trade-wise, if we went to the trade finder, who are two guys that aren't really going to play? Let's see. So Saban Lee's not really going to play. We'll throw him with a decent contract in Corey Joseph. We'll throw them next year's first-round pick, and let's see what we can get. I would love to be able to get something pretty nice, but at the same time, like I understand, it's not a crazy trade package, but Saban Lee does bring a lot, so never really know. I do like this because Jonathan Isaac, as we all know, is a runner-up or a potential candidate for Defensive Player of the Year every single year. Miles Turner is very solid. I do like the idea of that. OG Anunoby and Precious. Daniel Gafford is actually pretty solid. What if we threw... Let's see. So if we did Trade Finder, and then we'll just do Saban Lee, and we will do 2 first-round picks. I know that that's a lot to give up, but at the same time, we might be able to get something to fit all of our needs, honestly. So I'm really not seeing too much. I do like the idea of Cameron Johnson. I think that would be, I think he would be a pretty good fit for this team, especially with the timeline being so young. I think that would be a very solid option. There's just really not anything that I'm looking for. And I hate to see that because I feel like it's a pretty solid trade package. But at the same time, is he on his last year of his deal? Yeah, he is. So we can go ahead and decline that next year. Corey Joseph is going to be off our books next year, so we might have a pretty decent amount of cap room next year. So let's just keep with what we got. So we have Cade Cunningham starting at the 1. We have Zach LaVine at the 2. Saddiq Bey at the 3. Jeremy Grant at the 4. Isaiah Stewart at the 5. We do... Actually, what I'm going to do... Let's go ahead and run it like this. Let's go ahead and get Zach LaVine at the 3. We'll put Jaden Hardy at the 2. Get him some more of those minutes because Jaden Hardy is going to be a guy for the future. Like, his potential is probably close to 99. We have Isaiah Stewart here. We have Miles Bridges coming off our bench. Saddiq Bey coming off our bench. Killian Hayes. Diallo coming off our bench. We are just in a very good spot, truthfully. And I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I think I'm just going to check the system proficiencies. And why are we on defense? Let's be honest here. Do we have anything better? So just balanced is probably the best. That's all right. So I'll take balanced. That's fine. And I'm just going to sim to the end of the year, man. I'll see you guys there. All right, so we're here at the end of year 2, and I'm telling you guys, they are just in such a good spot. So we ended up as first in the conference, first in the power ranks, so definitely did some good things. Definitely did. Trae Young wins MVP. Chet Holmgren wins Rookie of the Year. So unfortunately, Jaden Hardy couldn't. But let's be honest. He has Cade Cunningham, and he has Zach LaVine now on his team, who are 2 very dominant scorers. Jeremy Grant last year was a 20-point-per-game scorer. It's going to be hard to put up really good numbers on a team like that. So, and Chet Holmgren's on the Kings, who, I mean, they have like an aging Buddy Hield, who in 2K just keeps getting worse and worse. They have De'Aaron Fox, who's a monster. Love De'Aaron Fox, but in 2K isn't really like, you know, anything too crazy. So I could definitely see De'Aaron Fox and Chet Holmgren being a great 1-2 punch. So that is kind of my thought process on it. It's going to be very hard for a guy like Jaden Hardy on a stacked team to win it. So I'm not too mad about that. But if you got first team, now we're talking. So 6th man of the year goes to Marvin Bagley, who just got kicked to the bench because of Chet Holmgren. So defensive player of the year goes to Giannis. Tyrese Maxey wins most improved. And our coach, Dwayne Casey, coach of the year, 65 and 17. And then our executive as well. So very, very solid. Very solid. So do we have anybody on any teams? I, once again, highly doubt it. But it's always nice to look. Doesn't look like we do. Do we have anybody on defensive? Nope. So let's go ahead. Rookies. Okay, so Jaden Hardy does make it on all rookie first team, just not rookie of the year, which is fine with me. I don't care too much about all of that. So let's take a look at stats real quick, see what our guys kind of did this past year. Zach LaVine, monster. Absolute monster, just putting up ridiculous numbers every single year. I love Zach LaVine, especially as a Bulls fan. 25, 4.5, and 4. Very solid numbers. We have Cade Cunningham here, about 18 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists in his sophomore season. Just only getting better. Jeremy Grant did take a little bit of a dip, but he did add a 25-point-per-game scorer to the team. So, you know, and Jaden Hardy really didn't play bad. I mean, 15 points a night, 3 rebounds, 3.5 assists, on 48% from the field shooting and almost 40% from 3. You cannot argue with that. Saddiq Bey off our bench, 13 points. Miles Bridges off our bench, 12.5. Isaiah Stewart, 9 and 10. So almost a double-double off of our bench. We just have such a solid team from top to bottom. I'm just really happy with everything that we got. So we're either going to be playing Brooklyn, Miami, Boston, or Chicago. None of those teams are going to be easy, and it looks like it's going to be Boston. Did Boston make any moves? They have Drew Holiday now. Wow, okay. And they have Peyton Pritchard, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, Willie Cauley-Stein, and then Schroeder off the bench. That's a solid team. That's a solid team. And we end up losing in 7. Nice. But that's okay. We have one more year. We have one more year to kind of get everything figured out. We have one more year to get this done. So we'll go to the league meetings here, make sure that everything is rejected, which it is. The draft lottery, we're not going to get nearly as lucky this year. But, you know, we might still get a pretty average pick. It looks like we might not have a pick at all. Yeah, nope, we don't have a pick at all. So that's kind of unfortunate. But I do think we have a little bit when it comes to like cap space. I think we do have a little bit. So I'm not sweating it too much. So we'll go to the draft here just to make sure that we don't have a pick. I could have missed it. Nope, we don't. So nothing, which does kind of stink because this was another Amani Bates draft class, but that's okay. That's okay. So no rookies up there, of course. Team and player options, I want to accept them on all of them besides Saban Lee and besides Isaiah Livers. They could potentially be viable NBA players, but just right now, I just don't really think that's where we need to be. Keita Bates-Diop, you can go ahead and walk, buddy. Sorry, man. Especially if there's any Keita Bates-Diop fans out there, but not for me. Not for me. So I do want to go ahead and try to bring these guys back. I would like to bring Jeremy Grant back on a very cheap deal, and Miles Bridges if I could. Miles Bridges somehow wants more than Jeremy Grant, which is just annoying. But we'll see. You know, Gorgie Jang and Keita Bates-Diop, you guys can go. So let's see what we got here. And it looks like they both do accept. So we we have like no money. So let's see what we really need. We have our point guard. We have our backup point guard, shooting guard, backup shooting guard. Actually, Zach LaVine's going to be playing the 3. So shooting guard, small forward, backup small forward, power forward, backup power forward, center. So we really don't need anything. Maybe we could use another wing player if we had, or if we were able to bring one in. But like if I can't afford it, it's really not even going to be worth it. So let's see if there's anything. James Ennis, nah. Like there's just nothing that I would even want. Maybe a Whiteside, but nah, I'm good. Let's skip to player progression here. Let's take a look and see what we got. We should see a lot of improvement. Cade Cunningham's up to a 91 overall, 88 for Zach LaVine, 83 for Sadiq Bey, 83 for Stewart, 83 for Hardy, 82 for Jeremy Grant, 82 for Bridges, 78 for Killian Hayes. So we're in a really good spot. Like I said, the past couple of times, I really like where this team's going. So do we need to make some moves? I don't know. I think I'm going to go to the trade deadline, which is right around my birthday every year. So it's right here. So we'll go ahead and simulate through the 29th, and we'll kind of see where we're at. I'll see you guys there. So it turns out I didn't have to stop it at the trade deadline because we ended up as first in the conference, first in the power ranks. And honestly, what happened was I forgot to set the rotation as of last year, or as of this past season. So what had happened was they were trying to start Sadiq Bey. Wasn't going to happen. Move Zach LaVine down to the 3, Jaden Hardy to the starting 2, and boom, now we're in business. So we are a winning basketball team. We are in a very good spot here. This should be the year. I'm going to be very upset if it's not. So Luka wins MVP. Victor Wembanyama wins Rookie of the Year. Sixth Man of the Year goes to Vucevic. He's backing up Jokic in Denver? Okay, that's actually nasty. Defense Player of the Year goes to Anthony Davis. That is something you really don't see in this game very often. Jalen Smith wins Most Improved. Dwayne Casey, our Coach of the Year. And Brandon Harrison, Exec of the Year. I'm wondering if that is... Oh, he's the Cavs. Okay. I don't know that. So let's see if we have anybody. Don't think we will. I always like to check. Defensive teams, no chance really. I don't know why I even looked. So now this is interesting. Let's check the stats, see how we all played. Zach LaVine did take a little bit of a dip, but that's because Cade Cunningham made a 5-point jump, and he is our highest overall player. So I am perfectly fine if Cade Cunningham takes some of those points away. Jaden Hardy jumps up to almost 20 points a night as well. Jeremy Grant is at 14 points, and he was coming off our bench. Keep that in mind, ladies and gents. Sadiq Bey is our backup small forward, 13.5. Miles Bridges was our starting power forward. I might switch that for the playoffs because Jeremy Grant's showing us that we need to put him back in the starting lineup. Isaiah Stewart, 10 and 11. Double-double off of our bench. I can't ask for any more from him. Killian Hayes, coming off our bench with only 18 minutes a night. 7.5 points, 5 assists, and 2 rebounds. So not too shabby. Per 36 is looking nice, man. Per 36 is a double-double. That's all I can ask for from the kids. So let's go ahead and take and look at the coach game plan again. I don't think I want to start Bridges. I think I would rather start Jeremy Grant, to be completely honest with you. I think I want to start Jeremy Grant, run Miles Bridges off the bench. I think we'll be just fine. I really do. So we'll go ahead and see who we're going up against: either Brooklyn, Philadelphia, Chicago, or Orlando. Chicago obviously just lost Vucevic, so that is kind of a big deal for them. And Brooklyn has the exact same team, but added in Andre Drummond, who's a stat monster. They have Victor Oladipo off the bench, John Wall off the bench. Still have Cam Thomas, still have Day'Ron Sharpe, still have Sekou. Yeah, that's a good team. That's a good team. We lose game 1. We win game 2. We lose game 3. We win game 4. We win game 5. And we win game 6. We win against the Brooklyn Nets in 6. That's probably going to be our toughest opponent. Obviously, the Milwaukee Bucks are going to be solid. They picked up D Rose. They picked up THT. And they still have Giannis. They have Robert Williams, Bobby Portis Jr. I don't know why I said Jr. Bobby Portis. I don't know. I think they got a little bit worse, but let's see. So, we win game 1. We win game 2. We win game 3. And they win game 4. We win game 5. Cool. I'm perfectly fine with that. You know, even if we only lost one game, it is against Giannis. Giannis is able to win one game, so I'm not even mad about that. Now we're going up against the Philadelphia 76ers, who... What? Wait, so they're running Ben Simmons, who can't shoot a lick. And then they add in Rudy Gobert, who doesn't shoot. So they have 2 inside players. They have Embiid still. They have Tyrese Maxey, Korkmaz. They have picked up Mo Bamba. They picked up Trez. This is such a weird team. Like, that should not... I didn't mean to simulate the round, but that works. But, like, that shouldn't... No, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. And the Kings end up making it. The team that I was talking crap about how the team wasn't very good outside of Chet Holmgren and De'Aaron Fox, and they are here. So I'm scared. I'm very, very scared. They have Tyrese Halliburton, who's hooping, but I don't know. In 2K, he usually doesn't put up numbers like that. I'm nervous. They have Davion Mitchell, who is a beast off their bench. Buddy Hield's not really doing anything, but so let's see. So we win game 1. They win game 2. They win game 3. We win game 4. We win game 5. And we end up winning in 6. And the Detroit Pistons have won an NBA championship. So let's go. Zach LaVine is your finals MVP. No real shocker there. Dude's the biggest bucket on our team. Either him or Cade Cunningham. I would have been fine with either. So that is going to wrap it up for me, you guys. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Let me know what team you guys want me to do next. If no one comments anything, I'm just going to go in the draft order. So, you know, the Pistons and then the Rockets. And I'm just going to go in order. But either way, just let me know. If you guys comment a team that you guys want to see me rebuild, I'll do it next, all right? Just for you. This is King Sanders signing out. Peace.